Hi, folks. It's 25 minutes past 2 in the afternoon, on the 29th of the 6th, 2020. I just took the dogs out for a walk. I was going to take them by car, but I knew if I did, the man upstairs would soon take that space again. Yeah. There was a possibility at least he would do so. You're trying to have a little dig, but that's what you're trying to do. So I knew quite likely if it was available, he'd probably take it again just to be awkward. So okay, I took him over the road by, just off lead walking, and that was okay, except on the way back. On the way back, got back okay. Told him to wait so I could get the phone ready to video. Amber just ran straight around neighbour's garden sort of thing, driveway, then neighbour's garden. So I thought, okay, that dog probably isn't there, because then Riley started going round. He looked and he just went round fairly confidently. So I thought, okay, the neighbour's dog was there. So, right, okay, too late. I can't start recording now because I've got to now keep an eye on what's going on here. I can't suddenly just get the phone out and start looking at the phone when there could be an incident happening that I've got to deal with. So, but a neighbour then said, well, it would have been useful had you had told me you were coming around with your dogs. Yeah, I can't. I was warned not to speak to you. If I speak to you again, your boyfriend said he would cut my throat. So clearly I can't speak to you. Clearly I shouldn't have to, because it was that pathetic, ridiculous situation where she's calling her dog but acting like I say 120-year-old granny calling her dog. No authority behind the voice calling her dog, no real effort to try and get the dog to come to her to stop it from harassing one of mine. None of that at all. Just pitiful effort to get the dog. It's as if it's too much energy, it's too much effort to have to do. But then, why do you have a dog? Ugh. See, I said in the first one, people are insane, so find me a cave to live in. This is why. This is what dealing with people is like. It's the utter craziness about it. You don't want your dog to harass mine, but then get your dog to you as quickly as possible in the most efficient way possible. If that means shouting your dog, or it means getting up, grabbing it by the scruff and putting it to you so it stays there, then you do that. I do that when I'm out, and Amber has a habit of barking at other dogs. If I see another dog coming, I grab her by the scruff and I hold her by the scruff next to me so that she can't get at another dog. That's me caring about my dog and the other dog. I don't want another dog to be stressed, but I also don't want her to get into a confrontation with another dog where she could be put down or hurt. So I make sure. If it's uncomfortable for her for a few seconds, tough luck. She has a habit of barking at other dogs, so she needs to know that she can't do that. So in no uncertain terms, I make sure she can't get at another dog. That way, I'm stopping any issues. Like I said in the last one, someone gets annoyed with you. Why do they get annoyed with you? But the fact that you can't make the effort, the effort to actually control your dog is too much. I've got to get out of my chair. That's that's people. That's what I'm saying. This is what life is like. This is what life is about. You've got to deal with people. But no, I didn't speak to her because, according to her boyfriend, I can't speak to her. Otherwise, it's going to cut my throat. So therefore, why make a bad situation worse? So no. then I spoke to my friend about it. He said, well, just explain to her that you can't speak to her. I said, I can't explain to her because that would be counted as speaking to her. I said, there's somebody else can explain to her, but I can't. Yeah, you can say, yeah, you're asking him to speak to you and tell you when he's bringing his dogs, but he can't because of what your boyfriend has said. Yeah, you can. If I do that, that's me speaking to her, which is what I was told I can't do. I was told that was a warning. I wouldn't get another one. Right? So that's the warning, and I wouldn't get another one. That he would just come up behind me and slit my throat because I've told her that I can't speak to her because he said he would slit my throat if I speak to her. Yeah, great idea. Yeah, that's going to work, isn't it? Really? Yeah, that's a wise move. That is, go and do exactly what the person said don't do. That's a reason why you explain why you can't speak to them. And then they go and do exactly what they said they would do because they're giving you the warning. They said they're not going to warn you again. Yeah. It's one of those situations. You can't. You just got to. Yeah. Say in future. I mean, Colin was right. Start videoing on the phone straight away. Well, as soon as I get out of the car, before I let the dogs out. So once I'm around here, or if I'm walking back, as soon as I get across the road, get the camera out, make the dog stay, get the phone out, camera on, video, then walk around, then it's all ready. Rather than trying to do it when I see something happening, because I can delete the video if necessary. If nothing happens, it's just I've got to make sure that these are okay and have evidence if they're not. If they're being harassed, like that. That wasn't too bad a situation, really. Riley was clever. He went behind the chair. He sort of hid behind the chair. But again, he shouldn't have to do that. He shouldn't have to try and hide away from her dog, really. He's a friendly dog. He's friendly around other dogs. Pretty much. He always goes and says hello to other dogs and but that dog, he's scared of it because that dog has harassed him. It is what it is, isn't it? Yeah. That's the thing. It's sort of crazy funny to a certain degree. Well, you either smile, you either laugh, or you cry, really, don't you? That situation, because that's what it is. It's sort of that way, isn't it? It's funny, but it's also insane. Yeah. I don't know. People, eh? That's why I entitled the last one, Find Me a Cave to live in. So you can get away from, live as a hermit. Stay away from people. Yeah. Order your food online. So although how you can live as a hermit and order your food online would be quite difficult, really, because you need a phone signal. You probably need broadband to be able to, use your computer, and you need electricity to use your computer. So, all in all, living as a hermit would be quite tricky. You'd have to come face to face with people at some point in time. But you can understand, how people like Howard Hughes hid himself away for all those years. I can understand that. I really can. People are just, you just want to scream at people and say, what the hell do you think you're doing? This is your best effort. Don't pretend you're trying when you're not, sort of thing. Oh dear. It's as I say, it's the insanity of people. They're so many people in a rut, and They keep digging a hole for themselves while they're in the rut. They just dig the hole deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Because they see there's a ladder, but they don't trust the ladder. So they're trying to dig their way out somehow. Yeah, okay. Yeah. It's mad. But I've done that. We've all done it. We've all been that person. We have. We can all be that person on a day-to-day basis. Or certainly in certain days of every week, every month, we can still be that person. That person is within each of us. We can be idiots at times. We can be insane. Our logic can be stupid at times. But that's why personally, I don't care. If certain people don't get on with me, I don't care. And the reason why I don't care is because the world has, 1 point or 2 point something billion people or whatever amount billion people, loads of people. I don't know the exact number, but loads. And yeah, I'm not going to be expected to be friends with all those people. Yeah, one or two is perfect. More than that, I can handle anyway. So, and I've got, I'd say, good friends, local, that I speak to on a regular basis. At the moment, no, not really. No. I've had, when Rob was in the UK, we spoke on a regular basis. We were good friends. Certainly, he was a good friend. But he wasn't always a good friend. He was a pain in the arse at times, but in the sense that he was always there when needed. He was a good friend. And he was a Christian, so he was a friend that would, hopefully, there was some familiarity there, some sort of sameness there. Because when you've got non-Christian friends and you're a Christian, that's not exactly easy. Because if you can't be an influence on them, then they will probably be an influence on you, and that's an influence. It's a bad influence in your life. So that's not necessarily a good thing to have. Certainly, if you've got more non-Christian friends than you have Christian, then that's not good. But I've only got the one non-Christian friend, and I've got 5 or 6 Christians that I speak to on a fairly regular basis. I did speak to them more before lockdown. I don't speak to them very often now. But that's the reality of lockdown, really. I used to go out for a meal with one of them on a regular basis, but that changed. Even before lockdown, that changed. That slowed down quite a lot. So, even though it's his turn to pay. I paid the last 2 times, so so it's his turn to pay the next 2 times now. So I'm not sure if that has any relevance to why it slowed down, but it just did. So there you go. It is what it is, and the difficulty I find with church is that so many of the churches around the area, so as in getting Christian friends, so many of the churches around the area have morning services. 10 a.m. and I'm useless in the mornings, absolutely useless. I just can't function. If I get up at, my times have got mucked up, and that's because of the learning to drive. When I was learning to drive, I was having driving lessons at certain times, so I have to get up at certain times, go to bed at certain times, and that just completely mucked up my whole day, and it still hasn't recovered. So now, because of the situation with neighbours and their dog being out, I generally have been walking the dog later and later at night. It used to be a case I'd be walking my dog my dogs before 12, and then they would be fed at 12 and we'd go to bed around 12. Whereas for the last, I'd say at least 7 months, it's been 2 in the morning that we go to bed. I get them out around 12ish, 1ish. About 12:30, they go for a walk. We sometimes go for an hour, sometimes for about half an hour. And then go to bed very late. So in the mornings, just not functional. But I wasn't functional before. The only way I could be functional for church would mean if I got up at sort of 5 a.m. Because the way it works every single morning is that an hour after I get up, I need to kip. An hour after, because I just get so tired so quickly. The first waking up, I don't really wake up. It's the second waking up that I normally wake up a bit better. So mornings, churches are just not really practical. 6 p.m. would be more practical. I could do that. But most of the ones around here that would be worth going to don't do a 6 p.m. service. They only do a morning service. Which is understandable because, church hasn't exactly been functioning very well, so they don't really have enough people to do both morning and evening. So I prefer they just did evening, but they just do morning instead. So again, I don't know why, because it'd be wiser to do Sunday evening rather than Sunday morning, because people generally speaking, if they're working and they've got kids and the kids are at school, they generally don't have enough sleep-ins. So the weekend should be complete sleep-ins, Saturday and Sunday, so that they can be cover. So then you have everything in the evening. That's what I do. If I was just doing one service and I was in charge of a church, it'd be 6 p.m. We don't have any morning service at all. So I think you should get more people in the evening service. Even though some people make the excuse, oh, it's 6 p.m. It's probably we're sitting down for dinner with them. We'll sit down for dinner earlier. Simple, really. You can do that. There's nothing stopping you having your food a bit earlier, is there? Even having a proper Christian dinner, proper Sunday dinner at 2 p.m. and just having a little bit of a snack at 5 o'clock. Therefore, you're completely fed and watered for church, ready to function, wide awake, ready to receive whatever God has for you. But there you go. People. Decisions that people make, decisions that churches make. These are the things that you just got to go on with in life. Life isn't built around you. And so sometimes you just have to say, okay, I can't do that because that isn't functional for me. That's not practical for me to do. I could get to that if they do it that way. It's like the one they do once a month. I can get that because it's 7 p.m. So I can do that. And I'm wide awake for that one. It's fine. I can cope with that. I have a coffee there, so that keeps me awake a bit longer, which is good. So it's all fun and games. I mean, hopefully, at some point I can probably find a church. I'll have to speak to a few people that are local, because there is a church local in town where they might do an evening service. But I've been there once. I wasn't overly impressed. The person gave a speech. The person spoke, and the way they spoke, they could have emphasized it a lot better than what they did. It was quite tamed down. So there was a lack of wisdom in the preparation of that. And it certainly wasn't God doing it, it was man doing it. So it's like, I wasn't impressed with what I saw there. I did mention it to the person, not in that way, but in a rather nicer way. That if he just said that instead of that, it would have emphasised it so much more. And yeah, he was fairly humble. And sort of said, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I should have done that. Yeah, but there you go. So that's one place that I could look at going. When I last went there, that was probably at least a year ago. So yeah, things may have changed since then. Right, well there you go. That'll do for now. You take care. God bless. I will speak to you soon. Bye bye.